YouTube, it's your boy Noel Blends. We are back at it again with another haircut tutorial. We are going to be doing like a Patrick Mahomes type hairstyle, mini burst. I don't know what you want to call it. I call it a Patrick Mahomes type hairstyle, but it's basically like a mini burst around his ears. And I'm gonna show you guys step by step what I do to achieve this type of look. So for some reason I decided to go in with my clippers on this one. I usually go in with my trimmers and set it in the first initial bald guideline. But for some reason I chose to use my clippers today. But what you want to do is you want to start off, we are going to leave the C cups. It is a burst, so you want to leave that area dark. We give it about an oval shape around. We're going to go right behind his ear and just create our first initial guideline. Don't be afraid of pulling down that ear and just make sure everything's nice and even and neat. Right after we do that, we want to come in with our bald shavers and go all the way to the top. Just make sure you use light pressure. Do not overdo it. Just go all the way to the top and just give it a little flick if you want, but do not put heavy pressure or else that line's going to be really hard to take off. Everything I do use in this video will be listed down below if you guys want to check it out and purchase any of the things I'm using, any product. Next, what you want to do is grab your half guard lever fully closed and create about a 1/2 inch guideline. You do want to keep the blade nice and flat when creating these guidelines and nice and even guidelines. Make sure they're neat. If you keep everything nice and organized while you're doing the blend, your blend will come out super clean and real consistent. Just make sure when you're going towards the back, you do keep it a little, the guidelines a lot smaller towards the back or around his ear, because this is a burst fade, so we don't want to really overstretch it. Just keep it nice and even. Next, what you want to do is grab your no guard lever fully closed and just play with break that bottom line. Just play with the lever. You can open it about a quarter, halfway. I usually don't have to open it more than a quarter and the line comes right off. As you guys can see, I am just playing with the lever, just making sure everything's nice and cleaned up. I like my blends to look a certain way, and that's real clean at the very bottom guidelines. So as you guys can see, I don't move on to make sure everything's nice and clean. Right here, I just go back to my 0 gap trimmers and just take out any little stubbles that my clipper didn't get. Next, what you want to do is grab your 1.5 guard lever fully closed and create about another 1/2 inch guideline. You can make this one a little bit bigger, about a full inch if you want, unless you want to keep the blend super tight. But I recommend doing it about an inch when we're doing the burst fade. For that reason is so we can have more contrast in the darkness, more cleaner, a smoother blend throughout the bulk. As you guys can see, I'm just making a smaller guideline towards the back. Just keeping it nice and even, consistent. Next, what you want to do is grab your 1 guard lever fully open, and now we're going to start to fade down. Basically, with this step right here, you want to copy the same thing we did with the 1.5. Just go right on it, copy the same guideline we just did, but instead of with the 1.5, we're going to do with the 1 guard lever fully open, and we're just going to start to sandwich the blend now. Now what you want to do is close it halfway and go a little bit more lower than what we just did with the 1 guard fully open. Now we're just going to close it halfway and we're just going a little bit lower. Still copying the same motion that we just did. As you guys can see, I'm keeping my blade flat. That's a big key factor to when doing this blend or this technique. As you guys can see right there, I closed it fully closed. Keep in mind, it's not going to take out the line completely, but it is going to soften it up crazy. And once you see it stop or not erasing no more, just leave it alone and go on with your next step. Now what you want to do is go back to your half guard, lever fully closed, and we're going to take out the rest of the remaining ghost line. As you guys can see, I'm just utilizing my corners more instead of the full blade, and just go right on it and flick out. This one, you do with this step, you do want to be a little bit more careful because you can push up the blend. But just once you see the little dark spots come out, just leave it alone. Don't focus too much on it. Step back, take a look at your blend, and see what else you got to hit. Refresh your brain. As you guys can see right there, I stood back a little bit and just looked at my blend overall, looked in the mirror, and then I go back in and I attack the rest of the remaining dark spots. What do y'all think about these wall singers? Are you guys fans of them, or are you guys fans more of the Babyliss? Let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. I want to know what y'all's favorite clipper. Once I finish that step, I do go in back with my Oster fast feeds and I do detail some more. I'm gonna just be doing detail work right here. Open, close, halfway open, anything to take out the remaining little dark spots that you didn't get with your half guard. Alright, so next what we're going to do is grab our number 2 guard, lever fully open, and we're just going to go straight up, and with the scooping outward motion, we're gonna pretty much connect the top to the bottom as much as possible. You don't want to go straight into it and take a big old chunk off the hair. Right after that, you go in with your 1.5 guard, lever fully open as well, and just go a little more underneath that. As you guys can see, I'm just pretty much just softening up all the dark area and just connecting it, making it look smoother with the whole overall blend. Now right here, what I'm doing, I jump back to my number 1 guard. I believe this is lever fully open, and it is. When I detail, I start with the fully open, and we're just detailing it pretty much, just polishing up the blend, not really creating any guidelines, just lightening up all the dark spots. Open, close, midway, just enough to get out all the little dark spots. Next, what you want to do is grab your thinning shears and just go straight up with it. Make sure you comb down the hair. Just pretty much, we're just making the bulk a lot less lighter and just giving it some overall shape. As you guys can see, I just comb it down and go straight up. So now what you want to do is grab your 1.5 guard, lever fully closed, and we are going to take it down his edge up, his baby hairs, just making sure everything's down to the 1.5. That way we can come in and create a nice, sharp, even guideline. I do recommend starting with the number 2 when bringing down his edge up. That way you guys can, with the 1.5, you can bring it down quite a bit and create some patches. But these are my long-time clients, so I know how their hair works. I usually do 1.5. But usually with thick hair, if it's light hair, I go in with the number 2 just to make sure everything's nice and cleaned up. We do use enhancements. As you guys know me, I do like to use enhancements. Keep in mind, I don't use enhancements for all my clients. It's usually the younger crowd. They like all the extra enhancements and all this stuff. I usually, for my older clients, I don't use no enhancements unless they ask for it. But for the majority, it's just all the youngins in high school and all that, I throw on the enhancements. This enhancement is half Kiss Express and half alcohol. We do add the white barber pencil just to give it an extra pop. And then I blend it in with my brush right here. Doesn't matter, you can use any type of little brush, and just make sure everything, the excess whites stuff is brushed in and blended in well. So just in case you guys forgot how my client came in looking like, this was the before. This is how he sat in my chair, and this is what I came up with. I think the cut came out super dope, super clean. If you guys like this hairstyle, these steps, if they were easy for you, please make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That way you guys get alerted every time I drop a new video. I do drop weekly for you guys. Follow me on my social medias at Noel Blends on Instagram and TikTok. I hope you guys like the haircut. Other than that, your boy Noel Blends, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.